Hey Flosstube, it's Katie the Stash Queen coming to you on this Sunday, January the 31st. I hope everyone has had a great stitchy week. This week has just been insane between being out of town and not coming back in town until Monday and just life and some illnesses, and I'm not feeling super well right now myself, and it's been a crazy week. So got a lot of stuff done. Didn't get so much done on other stuff. Got a couple of mini finishes. Got some really exciting, sorry. I'm really excited about one of the things I'm doing with one of the pieces I'm working on, which I'll show you here in a minute. But you know, it's another week, so let's go ahead and get started. I will start, as I always do, with my Q&A. Need to open my Dr. Pepper because I'm going to need to drink it. There we go. Ha! Stitching Mombi asked me where I get my needle minders from. I've gotten them from several different places. The two that I most dominantly get them from now are Minding My Minders and Nifty Needle Nannies, which are both on Facebook, and I'll put a link to each of their groups below. I have also bought from Gina's Unique Boutique, and I have also purchased from Delicious Threads, and I have also purchased from Pinoy Stitches, and a couple other ones here and there. But Nifty Needle Nannies and Minding My Minders are my two most predominant ones. Minding My Minders is where I get most of my bottle cap and square tile needle minders. My blingy ones now mainly come from Nifty Needle Nannies. But I'll post links below. See? Pretties that the kids were playing with earlier, so it's not all organized and neat anymore. Sorry, I got a little OCD about that. Colvin asked when I was planning for my year of starts, how did I do it? Did I go through books and magazines and patterns, or did I already have some things bookmarked? There are a couple of pieces that I knew I wanted to do at some point this year because I'd already been planning somewhat for Mania, because I knew I was going to do 31 starts in Mania like I did last year. Well, last year I actually did 35 for my 35th birthday. I'm only doing 31 this year. I'm not going to 36. But so I already had an idea on some of them. The rest, last year I sat down, it's probably October, November-ish. I sat down and I started going through my stash. I went through books, I went through magazines, I went through patterns, I went through my electronic patterns on my computer, and I just started going, you know, I had 12 little sticky notes open on my computer, and I said, okay, here's the first pattern I find, it's going in January. Here's this one that's going in February. Here's this one that's going, and I just went through and added as I got to them. So I wouldn't have 1 month with all Mill Hill kits, or 1 month with all Nora Corbett's, or 1 month with all Joan Elliott's, or something like that. I tried to spread them out a bit. Then did some rearrangements, like which one did I really want to start on my birthday? Which one did I really want to start on January 1st? Which one fits with certain one-day stitch-alongs that we have going on in Mania? But that was pretty much what I did. I had a few that I knew I wanted to do, but the rest was just going through. And that was a lot of fun, actually, because I'm doing a lot of patterns this year that are out of magazines that I distinctly remember looking at a magazine and saying, hey, this is awesome, I can do this another time, and then putting it to the side and forgetting about it. So it was really nice to go through the magazines and pick out a bunch of stuff from them that I had wanted to do when I saw them, but then just completely forgot about, because if you don't have it sitting in front of you, it's easy to quickly forget about it. So I recommend, if you've got some, you know, magazines on your bookshelf and you're itching for a new start, look at them. Maybe even before you look through the rest of your patterns. I mean, of course, if you have a pattern you want to do, do it. But if you're just itching for a new start and don't know what you want to start, look through your magazines or your books. You'll be amazed at what you find in them. Mickey Moscow asked, how do I use Classic Colorworks thread? Do I cut them or to match them halfway through, or do I just use them from the strand? Classic Colorworks are already pre-cut, so I just use the full length of the strand. It's a little bit longer than I like to use. Some people might cringe that that's the way I do it, but I find that that's the easiest way to keep the color consistent and to not have to worry about matching. So I just use the full pre-cut length. Beverly Evander asked me how my craft room is coming along. Life has not been friendly for me to get it done. Let's just put it that way. I need to make another run to IKEA before I really can finish up this room. And that's kind of why I'm waiting on... there's stuff I could do now before I went to IKEA, but I kind of want all of the IKEA stuff here, because doing it in phases, while it's fantastic and the thread organizer has been a lifesaver to me, I don't want to just do a little bit again and then pause and have to wait. I want to just, we haven't had a chance to go to IKEA and get it done. Life has been insane. But as soon as I get the chance to go to IKEA and get the last bits of furniture that I need, then I will sit down hardcore and get it done. And she also asked me if I knew how Flosstube started. No idea. I know there are some people out there who have been around for a long time, but I have no idea who was the first Flosstuber, who started it. I stumbled into it 7 months ago now. I mean, I'd been watching it off and on, but I didn't start doing my own until this past summer. So, and it had already been going strong for a while before I ever got into it. So, I don't know. If you know who was the first Flosstuber, let us all know. Put it in the links. Shirley Cox asked, where did I get my all you need is love pattern from Janlin that I showed in my February Year of Starts preview? I actually got it at Walmart. I was shopping at the grocery store one day because I usually hit Walmart for all my big stuff, and I went down the craft aisle just on a whim, and it was there and I got it. So as far as where to order it from, I would check 123 Stitch. I would check Stitching Bits and Bobs. I would check eBay, or just do a Janlin All You Need Is Love kit search on Google and see what we found. But I got it at the store one day when I was shopping for groceries. Christine Lorino asked if I was a member of any of the thread-only box clubs. No, not at this point. I know there are a couple of out there. I keep getting tempted to do just the threads from the Stitchy Box Dragonfly Lotus people, but I haven't delved into that yet. Between my jottery and my Mo's and what I buy on my own, I think I'm good on thread for a little while. Then Fiona Alderman asked, have I ever made a substitution that I regretted for colors? No. There have been times where I will pick out a color when I get, like, for an annual stitch along. I'll pick out a color based on what they tell me is going to be the color scheme for the year. And it'll work until it gets to a month where that color just won't, that I picked just won't work. And then I'll just pick out another color. I have enough selection that I don't have to sit down and say, well, I picked this color, I have to use it. No, let's pick another color. No big deal. But I like everything that I have ever used, never done. If I didn't like it, I would frog it out. I wouldn't keep it in the piece. And then, will all of the designs with multiple parts be counted as separate finishes, or will they be counted as one big finish? I'll count them as mini finishes, like I'm going to talk about today with Magical Creatures and Postcards. Those are both mini finishes because I got the month done, but they're going to count as one big finish when it's all said and done. I'm cheating for the starts, not for the finishes. Christy Pounder asked if I can do a needle minder video. I can try. I need to think about it. I can show off what I've got here, but I've also got needle minders on every pattern, or every whip that I've got, and every new start that I have currently planned and kitted up. So it might be hard. Let me know if you just want the ones that I haven't put somewhere yet, or what exactly you're looking for, because I don't want to pull out all of my whips and all of my starts to do all of the needle minders. But I can think of something. Let me think on that. Then Britty Boo asked, should you iron a piece before you bead it or after? I've done it both ways. Now I predominantly do it after I bead because I iron it and then it gets wrinkled as I bead. So I'm just gonna have to do it again, and I don't like ironing, so I try to do it once. And you can iron with beading. You just have to be careful and you don't crush it and you're gentle with it. And then she also asked, when I bead, do I bead in a hoop or do I bead in hand? I do as much in the hoop as I can, and whatever I can't get done in a hoop because I'm afraid of crushing something, I will do in hand. I just don't like doing things in hand generally unless it's like perforated paper or plastic or something. So that's typically what I'll do. I will evaluate where all the beads are and figure out how I can do my hoop to get the maximum space for the doing the beading, and then whatever is left over I'll do in hand. Lynn Kerr asked, what is the year of starts? It's insanity is what it is. It was an idea that originally Kate, the Queen of Starts, and I believe it was Christine. And Christine, if you have a Flosstube, I am completely blanking on it right now. But they were there was a, oh, let me back up actually. Okay, there was a group on Facebook that was the ultimate crazy January, February challenge, which was 31 starts in January and 29 starts in February in honor of a blogger who had passed away a couple years ago in the Stitch community, who was very well known for all of her starts. And then conversations happened and insanity ensued, and some people said, hey, why don't we go past just January and February and let's do the whole year, 366 starts. And some people said, sure. And I at first said, heck no. And then Kate is a bad influence. And I said yes. And I'm so glad that I said yes. So I'm doing 366 starts. Well, actually, I'm at 367 right now. But 366 starts, a new start every day in the year of 2016. There are some people who are doing variations of it, which I think is fantastic. Some people are doing variations where they're doing one new whip a week, so 52 new starts. Some people are doing one new start a month, so 12 new starts. Some are combining it with new starts and whips so that they make sure they stitch every day in 2016, which I think is fantastic. It's just fun. I'm loving it. I'm so glad I joined it. So let's see what else. And then Half Stitch asked 2 questions, but I'm going to answer them as one. What do I wash my pieces with, and do I wash my hand dyes? I don't wash my hand dyes. So the very few times that I actually do wash is if it is a white fabric, which is usually my full coverage pieces. I've used a mild dishwashing liquid before. I've used mild laundry liquid before. It's been a while since I've washed a piece, to be perfectly honest with you, because I use so many hand-dyed either fabrics or flosses or both anymore, and I don't wash with those. So there are a lot of options out there that you can use for various things. But I don't wash the majority of my pieces. So there you go. Thanks everyone for your questions as always. I appreciate you understanding me waiting because of the craziness of last weekend and Tuesday and all that, letting me wait and do the questions this week. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them below and I'll be happy to answer them next week. So week in review. There's some really good high points this week. I got a couple mini finishes done. Like I said, I'm really excited about some plans that I'm doing. I did not get to all of my whips again this week, but again, I also blame that on life. Just lots of stuff going on. And the rotation that I have set up, I set up with being able to do a lot of stuff in the day while the kids were at school, and this past week and the week before, for various reasons, that didn't happen. But I am hoping and praying and crossing my fingers, looking at the week ahead, that life should be pretty much back to normal this upcoming week. Fingers crossed. So hopefully we'll get done when I want to get done. But the only thing that really suffered, well, I won't say suffered. I won't even say that. Anyway, let's look at what I did for my week in review. First off, we have Magical Creatures. And I finished January. There he is. I did end up backstitching January, so it'll stand out a bit better. And I added the arm on the centaur. But this is on 32 Opal Belfast in Diva from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie, using Flosses and Silks by Mo Sale. And here's the entire piece right now. So yay, January's done! In time for February tomorrow. I'll admit, I pushed a little bit further with this, and that's actually going to be something that I talk about here in a moment, because I'm making a slight alteration to my rotation. But yep, I'm happy with them. Yay! And I posted all of the changes that I made as far as color substitutions and any other alterations that I made in Adele's Magical Creatures calendar group on Facebook in the January album where everyone's posting their January finishes. I will try to remember to put a link to that group. Let me make myself a note. Blink. Sorry, my arm's feeling kind of weird. It's one of those days where I don't want to put my arm, like when I put my arm still, it still like wants to move, and it's just bleh. Anyway, random comment. The next one that I have as a mini finish is my postcards from the world from Clouds Factory. Yay! And this one is done on 32 Joblin and Ice Goddess with Flosses and Silks from Moe's. So here is my little Venice one. The major alterations I made, besides substituting out the colors, which you all know I do, the border is in Italia, which is a variegated cotton from Moe's. Whatever the next month is going to be, I will just figure out what the flag colors are for that country, and that's what the border will be. And then you'll notice up here under Venice, I added 1999 because that was the year that I went to Venice. So my plan is that whenever we have a country or a place or location that I have been to, I will put the year that I went to it underneath or by the stamp, because I thought that was a good fitting place for it. And then there's a couple of blingy things that go in the middle between the various postcards that I'll have to wait and figure out what colors I'm going to do on that. I haven't decided yet. But there's my little Venetian gondolier. Yay! In time for your new start for February tomorrow. Now the next one. So excited. I will admit, I have been much more excited about postcards than I have been about the pumpkin passport as far as our two 2016 annual traveling sales are concerned. I mean, I like them both. Don't get me wrong, but I have been much more excited about the Clouds Factory one. And I'm still really, really excited about that. But then something happened this week. Someone posted on the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery group on Facebook that they wanted to add a TARDIS into London because, you know, so much of Doctor Who is based in London. So a bunch of people were like, oh, that's such a cute idea. And I said, oh yeah, I'm totally going to steal that idea. There's a perfect place for it up in the clouds. I can make a little TARDIS like it's flying. That'd be perfect. Awesome. I can do that. Then I started thinking more and more and more. And I decided that a little TARDIS in London is not going to be enough for me. I am going to completely Whovianize, and yes, that is now a word because I say so, Whovianize my pumpkin passport. Yay! My text was already kind of in a TARDIS blue and the white, and you know, kind of go the colors of the TARDIS are going in and out when it's landing or taking off. So I was like, well, what can I do for that? Well, let me show you what I'm doing, where I'm at this point. Here is my Let's Go on an Adventure. I have changed the colors. We already knew I was going to do this in Floss and Silks by Moe's Sale. 28 Joblin Ice Goddess Hand-Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. I changed the border up here, the single solid line border. I wasn't a fan of the colors before. I think that's part of why I wasn't so enthused about it, because I wasn't a fan of the colors that they had chosen. I've just changed it to be 5200. I do have a plan for the scalloped edge, but I can't do it yet. And then I made Rose Tyler. This is like, I'm so excited about this. Her hair is a silk that's called Banana. There's an homage to the Ninth Doctor. I made her her Vespa TARDIS blue and made the wheels have little white and a little Kreinik right there. And then I modeled her outfit off of, I forget the actual name of the episode, but it's an episode that she's in with 10, where it's supposed to be the Queen of England's coronation, and she goes faceless, and she's in the 50s, so she has this cute little pink skirt and a little denim top, and it just, I'm so happy with this. It is so awesome. So I'm going to work on London, and then, of course, put my little TARDIS up in the clouds up here in London, and then I have more plans. Like I said, I have plans for the scalloped edge, and then depending on what the pumpkins do for the rest of the year, we've got companions between, you know, Amy in her kissogram outfit, Rory the Roman, you know, we've got River Song that you can put in practically anything. because she was in Germany and calls herself Cleopatra at one point in one episode. You've got Donna as a bride. You've got Mickey. You've got Captain Jack. You've got Clara. You've got the doctors. So I'm going to play with the people and try to make them all doctors and or companions. And I'm going to try to add something a little bit Whovian into every location, but I'm so happy with Rose. I worked on her last night. I started and I'm like, I can't stop until she's done. I just love her. And I thought the banana silk was perfect for the yellow and the homage to the Ninth Doctor. So let's go on a Whovian adventure. I'm so excited. I do have plans for the Fourth Doctor scarf. I have plans. I want to incorporate a sonic screwdriver in there somewhere. The bad guys, you know, you're going to have a Dalek. I'm hoping they do New York, because if they do New York, the Angels take Manhattan, and I could totally play with that. I'm so uber excited about this, much more than I had been before. So before I was like, 15 minutes a day, it'll be done by December 31st. I wasn't going to stress about it because of how excited I am about doing this. I am actually going to put, which I'll show you happy everything here in a second. I want to put it to the side until I get this piece completely up to date. So that when March comes out, because the new piece comes out, I think this afternoon. When the new piece comes out, I'll have January, February that I can do, and then I can work on making sure it's all up to date as much as I can. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the bottom border until I have a month to measure it by, so I don't screw up on the counting. Haven't decided yet, but I'm going to start working this so I can get it up to date, because I'm so excited. So excited. So it may be a little bit more than 15 minutes a day that I work on this, but that's okay, because I'm so excited. So happy everything is my focus for a finish, but I'm going to put it to the side for a little while. Not because I'm not enjoying it. I still love working on it, but I really want to work on getting that frosted pumpkin updated. So here's where it stands as of now. Still working on some of the motifs in Happy. So it's going to be put away until I get Pumpkin Passport at least up to date. And once it's up to date, I'll pull this back out to work on. Did I mention I'm excited about Pumpkin Passport? Because I'm really excited about Pumpkin Passport. Where did that... Hello? I think I put stuff on top of one another. Silly Katie. And I saw the place that this is intended to be a gift for today, and I'm really excited about that too. But I still have some time before I can have to give this as a gift. So, next I worked on, from the annual Stitch Along for Stitch Mania. This was a Brooks Books week for me, so I was working on the Spirit of Cross Stitch Angel. Didn't get as far on her as I wanted, but it's actually a lot of progress on all of those. I don't do that because it's pattern. All of that, those pink in the wings. It actually looks like ABC now instead of a little blob. So I'm happy with the progress. Could have done more. At least it didn't do less, right? Then for the year of starts, the first one I worked on was Jeanette Douglas Designs Vintage Stitches. Just so gorgeous. I love this piece. And I am doing it on 32 Lugana in Changeling from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. And here is where, okay, now remember, I told you guys when I showed this last week, or earlier this week, I technically should say, that this is like nearly all specialty stitches, but I was starting in the middle where it's cross stitch, and you know, yay. It's 1/1 cross stitch in the middle. It's a specialty stitch all of its own. So it's small, but it's a lot of stitches that I did for the start, for that section of grapes. And I love this thread color. It's Highland Garden Dark from Gloriana. It's gorgeous. Doesn't look like much, but it's actually a whole lot of 1/1 stitches. Same color of thread. Isn't that cool? The purple and the yellow and the blue and the green. I love it. And I have a Wine Diva that's upside down. Is it upside down? Yeah, it's upside down. Wine Diva needle minder from Minding My Minders. This one will be fun to get back to. Would be perfect for another specialty stitch along, but I don't have one of those scheduled anytime soon. Maybe I'll have to have a reason to come up with one. Just kidding. There's so many stitch alongs. I think we're good for a bit. The next one that I worked on was A Stitch in Time by Gail Busey, and this is from the Cross Stitch Crazy January 2013 issue. And I am doing it on 32 Joblin and Raspberry Lemonade from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie, using flosses and silks from Mo's Sale. And here is where I was able to get to this week. Started working on the quilt that's in the middle. The lighting is not ideal, but when is it ever in here? See a little bit better back here what the color is, but you can't really see the detail. But it's started on the quilt, and I have a heart cross stitch needle minder I got at my L&S. This one was fun to work on. I enjoyed working on it. Not that I don't enjoy working on stuff, but you know what I mean. Then the next one, this goes over there, I worked on was Chinese Phoenix by Joan Elliott. This is out of the Bewitching cross stitch book that we all know and love. So that is Chinese Phoenix. And I am doing that one on 28 Joblin and Stardust from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. And here's my little start. Just got started on some of the blue in the wings. And I have, this needle minder is from Gina's Unique Boutique. Just a little start. Then the next one is what I'm going to throw into my annual stitch along rotation. This one goes over here. Sorry. I've got the boxes over here that are in ABC order through like D, and then everything else is over here. So I'm trying to remember which one needs to go where. This next one will be fit into the annual rotation for Stitch Mania as a Brooks Books option. This is Madonna and Child by Brooks Books from the 2010 Just Cross Stitch ornament issue. It's this piece right here. And here's where I was able to get to on it this week. Oh, let me see. Let me see it a little bit better. I got the purple done all the way around, and you can't really see it in this, but there's some Krynic that I had started to finish the circle. So I started with the Madonna and Child in the middle, and then I'm going to do the leaves. And that one actually really quickly. So this will fit into my rotation for, this will probably be the next one in the rotation when I get to the Brooks Books stitch along next time around, because I just did Brooks Books this week, or this past week, so this upcoming week is a Chatelaine week. And we'll get to that in a minute. Then the next one that I did, the last start for this week for the Year of Starts, was from Just Cross Stitch's 2014 ornament issue. And it is Stained Glass Mistletoe by Ink Circles. So pretty. And this was just done on a scrap piece of light green fabric. And here's where I was able to get to. Working on the black of the outline first. A little bit further out here. And this little minder is from Nifty Needle Nannies. So yep, got some black going. I'm going to do all the black for the outline of the stained glass first, and then I will go back and fill it in. So those are all my starts for the Year of Starts. Yay! And then I only worked on 2 whips this week. Oh well. Like I said, life happens. First one I worked on was Dreaming of Tuscany from Dimensions Gold Collection Petites. And here's where it stands now. I did more dark green half stitches. There's a lot of half stitches in this piece. And my minder is a Steampunk Key needle minder from Gina's Unique Boutique. Yay! And then the other whip that I worked on this week, here, was Eastern Star Santa from Mill Hill. One of my Year of starts. And here's where I got to at this point. I started working on the dark navy color that's up here in the sky. See? It's this part up here. Yep. So that was my week this past week. Overall, I'm happy with everything. I mean, sure, I didn't get to all my whips, but I got a whole lot of stitching done, as you saw. And I'm happy with it, so yay team. So, upcoming week. Magical Creatures will start tomorrow with February. I'll work on February's block. I don't think it's going to take super long because February's block is much smaller. But I'll start working on February's block. Then tomorrow I'll also start working on the February card for postcards. And I think I'm going to go a different route this month instead of, and I'm going to try it this month and see how it goes. Magical Creatures I'm going to stick with just doing the by time, the 15 minutes a month, or 15 minutes a day rather. I think for postcards, I'm going to try to do a color a day, because I found if I do one color, because that's how I work on these stitch alongs. I do figure out whatever color and do that one color. So like if I do one day and I finish the border, because the border is going to be whatever the flag color is. And then I pick out the other colors and I spend the next day doing color A and the next day doing color B. I think it would go faster, and yet not necessarily take up, I think the time would even out. Some days it may take more than 15 minutes and some days it may take less, but I'm going to play with that and see how that works. And we'll see if I'm going to keep that way. Postcards, or then clouds, the pumpkin passport, I think if tradition holds, the next piece should be released this evening. If not this evening, then first thing tomorrow morning. And like I said, I'm going to work on that at least 15 minutes a day, if not a little bit more, depending on my day, to get that done so I get caught up, because I put my focus for the finished piece aside for this month. I will, though, okay, the first thing, other thing that I'm going to work on this month, the annual Mania Stitch Along this week. It is a chatelaine week, and I'm working on my first chatelaine, my Medieval Town Mandala. And this one is done on 32 Lugana in Truffle from Picture This Plus. And the goal that I have is to work on this for half an hour a day, because I love working on my chatelaines. Here's where we are starting from at this point. So we'll see what we can do. I have a Jamie needle minder from Minding My Minders. So yeah, we'll see where we get to this week. But it's really pretty. See? I love it. So I'm excited to get back to it. 30 minutes a day on this piece. Then tomorrow is February 1st, as I have alluded to several times already. That means we are going to start a new monthly stitch along in Stitch Mania, and February is We Love Stitching, because hello, February, Valentine's Day and all that. The intent of this stitch along is that the piece that you're stitching on has to be related to love in some capacity. You could, it could obviously be a love themed piece, you know, your wedding pieces, the ones that say love, that have hearts, all that sort of thing. It could be a piece that you just love to work on because it's your favorite piece to work on. That's fine. It could be a designer that you love. It could be a color that you love. It could be a fabric that you could love. It could be something that you're making for someone that you love. It can be a gift that someone gave you that you love. As always, Stitch Mania is very broad on what we define as for our stitch alongs. Whips and new starts are welcome. Because I only do whips for these, except for the January New Year New Start, and then Mania I will do whips or do new starts. But I am going to I'm going to go back to what I normally do and do one pattern a week and work on it an hour a day. So starting tomorrow, I'm going to work on ABCs of Parenting by Lizzie Kate for my first week of We Love Stitching, because these are great rules for parenting. Parenting is the ultimate endeavor of love, if you ask me. And I do enjoy working on this piece a great deal. So I'll work on this for an hour a day this week. And it is being done on 32 Lugana in earthen from Picture This Plus. I have a lot of 32 count fabric this week. So here's where we are as of this moment. So I got my blingy Texas needle minder from Gina's Unique Boutique. So let's see how far we get this week. And then next Sunday I'll show you how far I got, and I'll give you a preview of what piece I'm going to work on for the next week. I have 4 pieces planned out for the stitch along for this week, or for this month. Going back to that, because really I counted for January, which was New Year, New Start. All 31 new starts that I'm doing all counted for New Year, New Start. So I just had 31 of them and a new one every day. But this time it's going to be more of the traditional. I've picked 4 pieces that fit in the theme for me, and I'm going to work on them. Then we're into the year of starts. The last start for January is the Think Happy, Be Happy row by Bent Creek. It says, think happy, be happy. Our life is what our thoughts make it. And I thought that's a great philosophy. And I'm going to do this on 32 Lugana in pewter from Picture This Plus, and I'm using flosses from Moe's. And yes, it's cut out. It's a long piece. Need to serge the sides a bit. And I'm going to use a Joy needle minder from Nifty Needle Nannies from Inside Out, because joy, happy, happy thoughts. So I've got the flosses already picked out. I'm excited. And this piece will officially round out month 1 of the year of starts. And will be my 32nd new start of the year, because there was that one day where I did the piece in honor of Alan Rickman. So I had 2 new starts. Anyway, then tomorrow my new start is scheduled to be Tamara. This is by Liz Almond of Blackwork Journey, and it is from the Cross Stitch and Needlework Spring 2015 issue. It's a really pretty blackwork piece. And I am going to do that on 32 Lugana in Bashful from Picture This Plus, which is just this really pretty pale pink that's hard to capture on the screen, but I promise you that it is. And then it's got this cute little pink crown needle minder from Nifty Needle Nannies. Then the next pattern is actually an electronic pattern that I'll put a link to below. It is, excuse me, Around the World in 80 Stitches from Papillon Creations. And I am doing it on 32 Belfast in Lily Pad from Under the Sea Fabrics. This is pretty green. Ooh, hello. Let's come back here, kind of, sort of, you can see it a little bit, maybe. I don't know. I gotta figure out how to fix the lighting in here. And then I'll be using this pretty blingy Castle Needle Minder from Minding My Minders. And I'm going to be using flosses from Jottery Designs that I've picked out for this. So that'll be fun. Then, let's see here. The next piece that I have scheduled to work on is Butterfly Elf from Soda Stitch. Cute little pretty butterflies. And it is being done on 32 Belfast in Nymph from Under the Sea Fabrics. Here, it's just, I'm going to show you the full fabric because I haven't cut it down yet. And it's just so pretty. Isn't that pretty? I love it. I hope the color's showing up right. It's pretty bright blues and greens and yellows with a little splash of white here and there. I'm excited. And I'm using this wooden butterfly needle minder from Delicious Threads. Then on Thursday, just quickly turning into one of my busiest days of the week, I will be working from Vanessa Ann's Holiday and Cross Stitch book from 1994. I will be starting Stitcher's Delight, which is this pretty quilt ABC sampler pattern. And I am doing that one on 32 Lugana in Sorbet from Picture This Plus. It's another pretty pale yellow, or not yellow, pink, more of a salmony pink. And it is, the minder that I've got is a pretty little blingy one that I got from Gina's Unique Boutique. And for this one, I am substituting out flosses for Most Sale. Then on Friday is another electronic pattern that I'll put a link to in the description box below. And that's Sherlock by Wee Little Stitches. It's the one I was giggling about the fabric that I picked for it. It's the blood splattered fabric. And it's perfect. See, you got my little 32 Belfast solo die from Silk Weavers. That's the blood splattered fabric. And that's why I'm using it for Sherlock. And I've got a Sherlock and John needle minder from Minding My Minders. And then the last new start for this week, let's get this in here. Will be Snowdrop Fairy from Joan Elliott. She's so pretty. And I am doing her on 28 Lugana in Midsummer Night from Under the Sea Fabrics. It's pretty. And I've got a little cloth button needle minder from Dragonfly Lotus that came with a stitchy box. Yay, stitchy box! Can't wait for my next one. Though I think I need to renew my subscription after this one. So that is my plans for the year of starts. Whips for the week. We've seen a couple of these 3 times now. Sorry. Today I will work on Edwardian Lady by Joan Elliott. And to show again, she is on 32 Joblin and Calypso from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. Here's where it is still. I got my Claire needle minder from Minding My Minders. Can't wait for Outlander to start again. I think, just from appearances, I think the person they cast as Brianna is lovely. We'll see how that works out. Then tomorrow, I'm scheduled to work on Elf's Garden by Soda Stitch. It's got lots of Soda Stitch Elfish related pieces this week. This one is done on 32 Belfast and Wildflower by Under the Sea Fabrics. Let's find where it is. Here we go. Here's where we are at this point. And I got my Blingy Drink Me minder from Gina's Unique Boutique. Though I think Nifty Needle Nannies has it now also. Then Tuesday, I am scheduled to work on European Bistro from Dimensions Gold Collection. And here is where we are at this point on this one. And I've got my Villains from Once Upon a Time needle minder from Minding My Minders. Now, ones you haven't seen yet. Yeah, I don't want any holdovers this week. Even if I only work for 15 minutes on these, I want to start moving forward again. Then on Wednesday, electronic pattern, it's Exploding TARDIS from Sprite Stitch. You'll have seen this when I was working on it for the Whovians Unite Stitch Along last year. And this is just on an 18 count white Ada 2/1 full cross, and I've got my 11th Doctor over here. So I'll work on this. Maybe I'll get a page finished. That would be awesome. Got my awesome project bag for this one. I love this. It's so nice. So much to love. It works great. Then on Thursday, this is also an electronic pattern, but I can't show you a link to it because it's a stitch along electronic pattern. It's the Faces of Joan Elliott stitch along that I'm doing on 28 Joblin in Aphrodite from Under the Sea Fabrics. Here's where we are. Got all the frame done. I'm working on this one in the top corner. And I have an I Am Sure locked minder from Minding My Minders that I got because I love it. Even though he might be better on Sherlock now, but that's okay. So that's where we are. I'll focus on her. Then the next tour actually starts from the Year of Starts. Friday, out of Joan Elliott's Fairy Enchantment book, I am scheduled to work on the Fairy Queen by Joan Elliott. And this one is done on 32 Belfast in Dappled Hollow from Under the Sea Fabrics. And here is what I got done for the Year of Starts with the blingy Tinkerbell needle minder from Nifty Needle Nannies. So, not much more than a little blobs right now. Then Saturday, I am scheduled to work on Fairy Tale from Dimensions Gold Collection. This is also one of my Year of starts. And this is where I got to when I last worked on her. And this is a Star Needle minder from Nifty Needle Nannies. So, lines of blue. But that's it. Those are my plans for stitching for this week. We'll see how I do. So that leads me to stash acquisitions. Yay! Fabric and needle minders this week. Needle minders I'll do first because it's just this one little card this time. From Nifty Needle Nannies. This one, it's like a rose, yellow on pink. This is a fairy, pink on black, chocolate covered strawberry, the little spool of pink thread, and then this awesome Queen of Heart, or Heart Queen needle minder, which is just so pretty and blingy and I love it. It's awesome. And it's going on the board down here right now on the card. Then I have fabric from Under the Sea Fabrics. It is a combination of my fabric of the month for this month. I have one that was left over from my sale fabric order that she had sent me, and then Leslie had posted that she was going to be discontinuing some of her fabrics because of dye related issues and not selling well issues and whatnot. So I ordered what she was gonna stop making so I'd have a piece of it. And I'm glad I did. So first off, this is the fabric of the month. This is NYX. This is a 32 Belfast. It's a pretty dark blue gray. I like it. It's very pretty. And these are all Under the Sea fabrics. Then the one that was the holdover from my sale was 28 Joblin in Tulip Sunrise. And wow, this is bright. I don't even know if you can see it right with the way that it just colors things here, but it's so pretty. Pink and orange. Oh, it's so pretty. I might have to do a floss toss on this for Gypsy Queen. I just might have to. Then the rest of these were the ones that she had indicated she was going to be discontinuing. So I ordered them before she said she was. This is 28 Joblin in Misty Morning. It's pretty purple and pinky color. Yeah, some of it was due to dyes changing, like the not being able to get the right dyes anymore, and others were just not as big sellers, I guess. I don't know. This is Snow Kissed Pine, which is a 32 Belfast. It's really pretty. It's like a bluey green and white. Then the next one, oh, it's so pretty. It's a 28 Joblin in Siren Noir. I got a piece of Siren Noir during the sale, but I forgot that I did when I ordered this one. But I love this one. This is just so, so pretty. Isn't that gorgeous? I love this. I don't know what I want to use it for yet, but it's just stunningly beautiful. It's definitely another nebula type fabric. Then the next one that I had is Bloodlust, which is a 32 Jobelan. More of a subtle, the variegation I can see better in person than I think you're going to be able to see it on the screen, but there is the red variegation, and there is variegation through it. And then the last one is 28 Jobelan in Fireball. Bam! Don't know what I'll use it for yet, but I like it. So those were my stash acquisitions. These are ones I've had out in the hopper for a while, so didn't order these recently. It's just been a little while. That's about it for me this week. Plans for this week, get through the week. How's that? Yeah, don't really. I'll come back on Sunday for my weekly update. I don't anticipate anything else. I've got to start working on kitting up for March, so even though February just starts tomorrow, I got to start making sure I'm ready for March for the year of starts. So that video will be coming at some point in March. But other than that, I think that's all I've got today. So I hope everyone has a wonderful stitchy week, and I will see you guys next time.